back to one of our main stories now, following the fallout of the racism allegations raised in Harry and Meghan's interview. Buckingham Palace has issued a statement saying the family was saddened to learn of the struggles that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex revealed this week and that they would be taken very seriously. The statement is the first comment by the palace following Harry and Meghan's 2-hour television interview with Oprah Winfrey, in which they allege that Meghan had experienced racism and callous treatment during her time in the royal family. The statement, which was issued on behalf of the Queen, said, and I quote, "The issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning." It continued to say they will be addressed privately. The statement also said that Harry, Meghan and Archie will always be much loved family members. Well, joining us now on the Meghan and Harry interview is Yetunde Oduwole, a multi-award-winning professional UK-based actress. Amongst her credits include her role as Gladys Adebanjo in the award-winning show Meet the Adebanjos. Yetunde is also well known for hosting various TV shows and red carpet compared for Ben TV, Wage TV, and Afro Nollywood Awards. Some of her best actress nods include Screen Nation, BAFTA, SAFA, and NEL Awards. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let me begin by asking what your reaction is to the statement released by the Buckingham Palace. I mean, for me, it was a world-class diplomatic response. It says the race issues raised in the interview are concerning. They'll be taken very seriously. It then said recollections may vary, but the matters will be addressed privately.
When I basically read the reaction or the comment from the palace, I was actually a little taken aback. What basically stood out for me was may vary. So basically, when you're throwing something like that in, you're saying that, okay, we're acknowledging what's happening, but our recollection is actually different from what Meghan and Harry have said. So it's like a little throwing down the gauntlet, but not really saying much. Because if you look at that, when somebody's saying, okay, you know what, we acknowledge this is happening or we'll have to investigate. But what we're saying is, oh, our recollection is completely different from what you're getting. But they haven't come out to say it, but they've been very subtle about it. And obviously, they've also said, oh, we want to make it private. Well, if it was dealt with privately, these children would not have come out and said, Prince Harry and Meghan would not have come out and said, this is what we went through, this is what's going on. And a lot of people, people like, Piers Morgan, obviously he's left Good Morning Britain now. We're very excited about that. I think that is a good inclination onto what is in the background. He basically said he doesn't believe them. He doesn't believe them. Fair enough. You don't believe, that's fine. But nobody's going to come forward, especially the fact that Prince Harry has come and said, this is what my wife went through. This is what was said to me. They spoke about the fact that, there was no title given to their son. They spoke to the fact that their protection was taken away. They also spoke to the fact that their child's color was being, questioned. Oh, how dark his skin is going to be. They're not going to come and say those kind of things. These things are not baseless. Nobody, especially if you think about it, if Prince Harry's coming forward to say these kind of things, he is definitely coming with real truth. He's not going to make this up. I truly believe what they're saying. I don't think they've lied. I don't think they're trying to spin us anything at all. I believe 100%, 1,000%. They've come out and say, a lot of people think, oh, in England, there's no racism. There is racism in this country. The system is systematic, is underlying, is very subtle. There's a lot of subtleties in the way racism is dealt with or dealt to people like myself as a Black woman in the UK. I was born in this country, but I still consider myself a Nigerian very much. I'm a very proud Nigerian. But a lot of times people will always question. What upsets me is when non-people of color question a Black person or a person of color when they're saying that racism is happening, I'm being dealt this card. And more so when you find that when you're in a mixed race marriage or interracial marriage, when the husband also comes and says, listen, this is what my wife has gone through and I'm coming forward, I'm supporting her. I will not. The fact that he did not mention who said, what about the color situation, that also has a question mark. If he wanted to go for the jugular, he would have gone for it. He would have said, all bets are off. You've attacked my family, you've attacked my wife, you've attacked my son. I don't care anymore. But he's still protecting the monarchy, even though the monarchy has not protected him. So that is where you can look at the balance.
All right, yes. Meghan accuses someone in the palace of racism. Should everyone run to conclusions, or shouldn't there be a thorough investigation to establish both the veracity of her claims and to finger, if possible, whoever did that, if that's the case?
I think definitely there should be an investigation. But let's be frank. It's not the first time she's spoken up against this. There must be something that's been said before she came out. If you think about it, nobody's going to come out and say something unless they've tried to deal with it inside the palace. If they've not tried, like she speaks about the institution. She constantly mentions the institution. So it's not something that she hasn't tried to come out and say. She's dealt with it. She's tried to deal with it in the background. So but the fact that they've come forward, I'm not saying that the palace should not investigate. Of course the palace should investigate. But think about it. When a few days ago, before this interview came out, the palace also brought out a statement saying that, we are going to be investigating bullying. The Prince, basically, Duchess basically bullied her staff members. People have come out and say she's bullied people. They brought out a statement and they wanted to do it publicly. But as soon as she says, we're racism, we're going to deal with it privately. 100%. I believe they should go forward. I think moving forward, they need to investigate what's happened. They should not just brush it underneath the carpet. And that's what they're trying to do. In my opinion, when you say to somebody, we want to deal with it privately, well, how do we know you're going to deal with it if you don't give us feedback? For all we know, they're just going to say, yes, we're going to deal with it privately, and nothing is being done.
Well, Yetunde, I also want to bring up, I want to find out from you what the reaction has been like to the drama, do you say side drama that's going on with Piers Morgan and to do with Meghan and Harry as well. That seems to throw up issues concerning freedom of speech, it would seem, and maybe having difficult conversations around mental health and racism. What's the public response been like to that whole other drama?
The drama has been, I would say, some people are. I think let's be honest. The fact that Piers Morgan has been going at Meghan for years. It's not today that he's been going at this poor girl. He has said all kinds of horrible things about her. He doesn't believe her. She's a social climber, yada, yada. He's been going for it. And I feel as if the ITV network has actually given him a platform to talk. Twitter has also given him a platform to talk. It's not that it's today. He's been going at it for a long time. And you can actually see that underlining that it's a personal thing. He's actually, he came out and said, many years ago he met her, he took her out for a drink, they went to a pub, and after he put her in a cab, and the cab was when she went forward to meet Prince Harry. Now, the question of Piers Morgan is, why are you so into this woman so much? It's one thing not to like someone. Yeah, you dislike her for one thing. But before the wedding, he was, yes, she seems a really lovely girl. I hope I get an invitation to the wedding. And he was fine. But the fact that he didn't get an invitation to the wedding, he just went on a different tangent. For me personally, as an actor in the UK, a black woman living in the UK, I feel personally that ITV should have railed him in a long time ago. They gave him a platform and he was going for it. And he went even on Twitter. There's a big divide. I think people at one stage, they didn't really care what he said because, if you want to listen to nonsense, you listen to nonsense. It's the fact that he doubted her mental state. The fact that somebody comes forward and said, listen, I'm going through depression. I wanted to kill myself. And this man decides, oh, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Her husband is sitting next to her saying, yes, this is what she's gone through. Who are you to tell somebody what their mental state is? I myself as a woman, I've been through depression before. I'm not, ashamed to say it. I know what it's like to have postnatal depression, especially when you've had your children. I know what it's like to doubt yourself as a mother if you're doing a good job. And I know my situation. If I've come out and said it, and my family members have been supporting, I know other friends of mine who have had depression. I mean, let's be frank. What if the poor girl has killed herself? Is this the story we'll be saying today? The story will be completely different. The fact that we've had a lot of people, we've had 41,000 people phone Ofcom and basically complain about Piers Morgan. I believe 100% ITV either told him either you leave or we sack you. And he took the high road. And you know what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to tender in my resignation. The only reason he's done that is because he also still wants to work in the media. By tendering your resignation means that people can still hire you. But if you get fired by ITV, he's not going to be able to do that anymore. So I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, you did.
Yetunde, let's talk about the main subject here. That's Harry and Meghan, and then on the other hand, the monarchy. In your own opinion, who do you think has more to lose here?
I think everybody does. If you think about it, they did say something. They said they've lost titles, they've lost income, they've lost their home, they've lost family. Meghan said, I mean, she lost pregnancy last year. I don't know if you guys remember when the article, I think it was in the Vogue magazine, she said, as I was holding my firstborn, I can feel myself losing my secondborn. Irrespective of, you might think, oh, you know, Meghan and Harry, they've all got something to lose. You know, Queen Elizabeth has long lost her grandson. Prince Charles is not talking to him. Prince William is there. Their family, Prince William and Prince Harry, they grew up, they had trauma together when they lost their mother. Everybody's going to lose out. It's not only one side, it's both, whether it's Harry and Meghan are going to lose. Even the UK is going to lose, because when they first came out, everybody thought, we're fantastic. A different kind of biracial family, a biracial woman's been married into the royal family. Everything's going to be different. Everybody's going to lose out. I don't think this is a win-win at all. I think it's a very serious situation where family are feuding or are having situations where they're not happy together. And one person is saying, listen to me. A woman of color, whether you want to see her as black or mixed race, has said, I'm not being listened to. It just goes to show the level of, you know, I mean, I don't know the word to use, the level of backwardness, maybe sometimes you could say with the royal family. They're not really moving with the times. In the UK today, there's so many mixed race families, and everybody's moving forward. You can't just say because you have one family member that's mixed race in your family, you're not going to look and think, you know what, let's be much more open to the way the world is moving. So yeah, I personally think that everybody's losing out. I don't think only Harry and Meghan are going to lose out. Everyone is losing out in this situation.
All right, before we let you go, Yetunde, the father of Meghan has also come out in defense of the monarchy. He says he doesn't think the monarchy is racist. He rather accuses California of racism. What's your sense of this statement and should one person's statement really from the monarchy be extrapolated to represent the monarchy's attitude? Is that fair?
Can I say this thing to you? I really don't know why people are listening to Meghan's father. That man has, unfortunately, from the onset, he's story to the media. He has been so media happy, taking money from them constantly. He's never been to the UK, I don't think. He wasn't there for his daughter's wedding. He hasn't spoken to his daughter in a while now, since the last letter that she wrote to him. They have no, I mean, okay, let me just use this as an example. I speak to my mom every day, at least 5 times a day. She knows what I'm going through, whether I'm taking the children to school, I'm doing some, work, or I'm having an interview right now. She knows me. So if you as a father don't even talk to your daughter, how are you going to know what she's going through? You cannot just make up stories. So the royal family is not racist. If they were not racist, would Meghan come forward and say they were not racist? Would Harry say, yes, that they went through a difficulty? What you fail to realize, Britain in itself is a country built on the backs of slavery, on the backs of colonialism. So you cannot say that a country that decided, we're more superior than everybody in the world, go to Africa, let's colonize all the people, let's take all their resources, have slavery, and you think that there's nothing like race. This institution has been going on for so long. Whether they're moving forward, that is one thing we need to put a question to them. Are they going to move forward with the times, or are they going to be just, the kind of institution that they are? So I think I've answered your question that yes, Thomas Markle should not be listened to at all. He does not know what he's talking about. He doesn't. I don't even think that man should be given any more audience. Sorry, that's my own two kobo. Sorry.
Thank you today for being so frank in your responses. Thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you so much for having me.